I'm trying to cover my X-Fire password so I can sign up. But it ain't happening at this rate. What the fuck? What was my Hotmail password? Think high school, Rifkin. What was your stupid obsession with passwords back then? 1 sec, guys. 1 sec. Hang on. I'm having a moment here with Hotmail. Gotta try and remember. Oh, I don't remember. Okay, screw it. Whatever. Worry about it another time, another place. It is game number 3. It's tied up 1-1, and no, we did not cast games number 1 or 2. So if you're watching the VOD of this, congratulations for hopping at the end of the series, because the winner of this game, much less this series, goes on to fight against Izael in the finals. So we catch the tail end of this best of 3 for now. Spawning in the lower right corner of the map, he is the Red Protoss player, oldpeaceRoadz. And his opponent in the top right, playing for Millennium, it is the Orange Protoss, Adelscott. And yeah, the reason I'm trying to remember my passwords is because back in high school, I made all my passwords for my because I had like 5 Hotmail accounts. Like, you know, you're cool on MSN and you make all the fake accounts so you control your friends, right? Like, every password was like the name of a girl I had a crush on, and I can't remember any of the girls I went to high school with. So, so much for password recovery. Anyways, pro out of oldpeaceRoadz will get across the map and find his opponent right away. Kind of lucky as this is an anywhere spawn map, so nice for him. Not a lot he can do with it. It's not like he's going to be proxying anything. He may try to proxy, like, say, a Robo or something, but it's not as common to proxy in STARBOW nearly as much as it is for regular StarCraft, it would appear. Although I kind of say that a bit ironically, because, of course, the very first game we cast today was Adelscott proxying Reavers. So, you know, there's always a possibility, however unlikely. PvP is a significantly different matchup. I guess if you're new to STARBOW, guys, welcome to a very different version of StarCraft 2. You will notice weird things in the production tab, like these Cadrian crystals. This allows for the chrono boost, which does not come in innately with the Nexus, and of course you have to research it with the gateway tech. Or not research it, I guess upgrade it is the more accurate phrase. Anyways, the other 2 major things that have been changed about the race for Protoss are A, there's no force fields. Fantastic. B, Warp Tech is not only tier 3, but it's actually technically ineffective compared to kind of like chronoing out a unit out of a gateway. For those who don't know, Chrono Boost does not only just speed up the building production of units by 50%, but 100% when used on a gateway. So if you're looking to get Dragoons out, if you're looking to get some Zealots out, this is the way to do it. But Stargate going to be coming out of oldpeaceRoadz here. We did get to see some really cool Sentinel usage out of him earlier. He may try and do it again. Those null wards, man, those are fun to watch. And what's really interesting is Dragoons, they hit really hard, but they attack really slow. So dealing with the null wards may not be the easiest thing in the world to do. Let's see what he does here. For now, he's going to come across with a bit of a Dragoon poke. Not a lot he can do. Yeah, going to force the fall back for now. 2-1. Don't take that fight, man. Don't take that fight, bro. Looks like he will just get away for now, disengage. Sentinel going to be built right away, okay. Supply blocked, unfortunately. Has to wait for the pylon to finish up. So as we saw, guys, the Null Ward is cool. It's got a lot of really explosive damage packed into it. It's by no means going to end the game like an Oracle would, but you've got the potential to lose some probes. Adelscott, if he's not paying attention. Forge is coming up. May decide to put a cannon down. Might just be for upgrades. I don't know. He's not seen the Stargate. He doesn't actually know where his opponent is. Looking around the map, seeing that there's been no aggression, might just have a clue that something odd is coming his way. I don't know. Perhaps his opponent is just bad. That's what's kind of like, you don't know. There's no, like, when you do StarCraft 2 tournaments right now, right? Like, you get Teflon or Brack, you're like, okay, good Zerg player. You get someone you've never heard of before, you're kind of like, whatever, underestimate them. And unfortunately in STARBOW, just because you've got a name attached doesn't mean you're actually good at it, as we've seen. So perhaps Adelscott underestimating his opponent. Maybe he's just playing super defensive. Either way, his Nexus will be finishing up in a moment's time, and what he has is +1 weapons and some Dragoons patrolling about. Again, the Sentinel will not be too easily dealt with. Thwarted back, pushed back for now. 2 Dragoons at the front gates of Adelscott, though, will be able to outpoke his opponent for now, especially with the additional damage of the Sentinel combined with the Null Ward effect. And looks like that is charging up, so this will cut out some reinforcement potential, unfortunately, for for Adelscott. But oldpeaceRoadz is going to lose one of his Dragoons here, so looks like they will detonate on the other. But I don't think there's enough damage. I didn't know that. It looks like the nullified effect actually splash damages your own units through friendly fire. That's kind of interesting. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if the actual damage friendly fires, but it looks like the slow effect, the snare attached to it does. Now, of course, this is where he'd love to put down a couple null wards, but as we can see, the Dragoons are trying to focus them down. But that's not going to happen. These null wards will detonate on some of these probes. And gets a couple kills there. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, 3 workers killed so far. The Sentinels, of course, have their maneuverability as their greatest aid in this situation. More Sentinels are being chronoed across the map. But there's a cannon coming in. There's a Dragoon patrolling. oldpeaceRoadz is not going to get the free damage that he necessarily wants to. In fact, the Dragoon at the front of the base gets shut down entirely. Cannon will claim the life of another Sentinel over here. It's so hard not to call them oracles because they're basically oracles in the sense that they're really irritating and not easy to deal with, but drives them back. Does Adelscott. Now he's got his Twilight Council finished up. You can, so let's explain this real quick, guys. You can still get blockers. You can still get blink stalkers if you want. You can still get stalkers in general. The damage on stalkers was toned down significantly. The blink is not nearly as good as it should be. I mean, that's why you don't really see a lot of stalkers get made, and they've literally, like, if you check the tooltip for them, like if you're Protoss and you don't believe me, go check the tooltip. They're classified as support units, so I mean that really tells you where the priority is as far as getting stalkers out. But third base coming up here relatively quickly from Adelscott. Again, this is kind of the nice thing about STARBOW. It encourages expansions and doesn't punish you nearly as much for losing them. It's a weird thing to consider, but hey, it works. Plus some weapons for Adelscott's also finishing up here. Has been in the works for quite some time. I'll give his Dragoons a nice 22 damage to the 20 of oldpeaceRoadz if he makes any more. Looks like he was expecting a big counterattack. Did place down some null wards defensively, but I don't think, yeah, Adelscott with that third base up is going to be pushing anytime soon. Does have the additional damage, or sorry, not the damage, the range bonus coming for the Dragoons. Does have actually damage though on the way here. Level 2 weapons coming out. Upgrades are kind of a nice thing to have, guys. Let's be honest. And in a match like this, what? Was there an Urstodon? Oh, I must have killed the Urstodon somewhere around here. So for those who don't know, there's like weird critters floating about. I don't actually know if I believe they do not retaliate, even though they have an attack associated with them. Anyways, cannons down. We got the transfer coming down here as well. More Sentinels being invested into. I'm kind of concerned about this at this point. These are not exactly cheap units, and I would like to see oldpeaceRoadz further his tech. But this squad he's got coming, again, if you guys missed it earlier, charge is not Zealot charge that you're used to seeing. It just buffs their movement speed, which I think is a lot better than actual Zealot charge, but I guess it depends on the game, and this game is STARBOW. We'll see what he can get done. There we go. Speed kicks in. Should be able to contend with his army. The Templar's done, but there's not going to be Storm anytime soon. So these will probably be for Archons, if not hallucinations. Adelscott says, whoa, that is way too much for me to deal with. I played way too greedy with that third. So good game is called, an oldpeaceRoadz will go to the finals to fight against Izael in a best of 3 PvZ.